Hey guys, welcome back to Keto by Volume. Thank you so much for understanding last week that I was really tired. But we're gonna kick off this week with another wonderful drink recipe, one that actually has a pretty interesting history. It's one of those drinks that is actually trademarked. Yes, you heard me right, it's trademarked. Today I'm gonna show you how to make a Dark N Stormy. As I mentioned, the Dark N Stormy has a really interesting history. This is one of those drinks that's actually trademarked. The recipe's not trademarked. The name of the drink is. So Goslings is the rum that you would use to make a Dark N Stormy. Technically, any other rum is illegal. That's right, it is illegal to make this drink with any other rum than Goslings. If you make it with a different rum, you can call it a safe harbor, but realistically, you are going to want to use Goslings for this this cocktail because it's really good and it has that molassesy flavor that you're looking for. The name of the drink was actually allegedly created by a sailor that noted that the murky color of this drink reminded them of stormy skies. So this drink is pretty simple. The only difference between this and the Moscow Mule that we did a few weeks ago is the spirit that we're using. So we're gonna use 6 ounces of diet ginger beer. We're gonna use the equivalent of 1/4 of a lime. I actually forgot to pick one up, so we're using some lime juice from a bottle. We have 2 ounces of dark rum, and we have some ice for our glass. Let's take a look at our tools. Keeping with the theme of simplicity, we have 2 tools. We got a highball glass and a bar spoon. All right, so the first thing we're gonna start with is our ice. We're gonna take some of that ice that we got. Ooh, that's cold on the hands. And we're gonna put it in our glass. Now, we're gonna go ahead and we're going to add in our little bit of lime juice and our rum. Okay, now we're gonna take our bar spoon and we're going to stir vigorously. All right, now that's all mixed together. Last ingredient, super easy. Make sure you tilt your glass when you do it so you don't lose all the effervescence. You're gonna pour in your ginger beer, your diet ginger beer. Now traditionally we'd have a nice little wedge of lime to put in here on the top too for garnish, but I was a total derp and forgot to buy a lime, which is why we're using that bottled stuff for lime juice. You're gonna go ahead and gently mix these together, and then we're gonna put in our straw, and then you would traditionally garnish this with that wedge of lime, but yeah, we don't have that today. And here we go, our Dark N Stormy, or Safe Harbor, depending on the rum you use. This Dark N Stormy has 1 net carb, all of it coming from the lime juice. We have 134 calories total for the drink, and that includes that rum and the lime. And today we have our resident normie Liam here to come taste our drink. Hi Liam. Hi. So what do you know about a Dark N Stormy?
Not a lot.
Not a lot.
I've never actually drank them. Most people have told me that they are not something that I would particularly like, but
I think it's probably the ginger beer and lime. As we all know, you're not the biggest ginger beer and lime fan, no. Unless it's a Moscow Mule.
Right. Which
something about that vodka being that clear flavor.
It was pretty good.
What works for you. So why don't you go ahead and take a taste?
All right.
And ignore my disgusting lack of garnish. What do you think?
It's definitely got a bite of ginger.
Yeah.
And funny enough, it actually does have a little bit of sweet to it, which I didn't expect. I guess that's probably coming from the ginger beer.
It's actually from the rum.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm. You get that little bit of that syrupy, sweeter flavor from a rum. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we'll do a video about this at some point, but rum is actually created from sugar cane.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
But it is ketogenic because and we'll go into this in more detail in a different video, but because all of the basically the alcohol, the distillation process destroys the sugars.
Oh.
So when you have a rum that's really, really sweet, like some of the more popular rums that are spiced rums, if you catch my drift, they are back sweetened, so there's sugar added after the fact.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, and so we'll go into that. This is the one doesn't have sugar added after the fact, but yeah, so that's where you get a little bit of that sweet from.
Yeah.
Surprisingly enough.
But yeah, it's definitely it's very clear with the ginger. You can definitely taste the rum that's in it. And like you were talking about that kind of almost a molasses type of sweet,
sticky kind of feeling. Yeah.
It's actually surprisingly not that bad. So
I'll take it. I'll take it as a win from the person who doesn't like ginger.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of ginger, unless I'm sick and have a fever.
Yeah. So scale of 1 to 10. I know we're not going to get another 10.
Probably not.
But
no, but you're probably looking about a 6 or 7 for me.
6 or 7. So a little above average.
Yeah, it is. So far, every drink that you've made has been above average, and they're good. So I like
made me blush. So sweet.
Horrible thing to do to a goth, I know. It's not the first go-to drink for me,
Sure.
but if it was something that I was handed that's not something I would pour out, I'd drink it.
You know, that's actually really high. I know that everybody like hears and say, I wouldn't pour it in the sink, but like, that's actually, I have seen Liam actually like be like, oh yeah, thank you, this is great. Awesome, yeah.
I've
seen it.
Some really bad drinks. I mean, I've had things that people have labeled as being trash can drinks that literally should have stayed in a trash can.
So kind of like a grog, where you just kind of like
exactly
throw everything
like
into a cup.
I've had grog once. I will never make that mistake again. Ever.
Oh, that sounds so gross.
It was a bad next morning.
Cocktails are so much nicer than, hey, whatever's in the bar, just slap it in there.
Yeah. Yeah. The remnants of whatever's left in the bottles, not a good idea.
Oh, well, I was talking about like literally wiping it off the bar. Like that's
no. I would never do that.
Yeah, that's nasty.
That's bad.
Gross. So how drunk do you think you get off of these if this was your only option?
Probably not very, because I don't think I would drink a whole lot of them. But it's definitely a nice special occasion type of drink for me, where I think it's got its applications at certain times. You know, when you have company over or what have you, and it's that certain class of company, I guess, it kind of comes
class of company. What are you trying to say, Leah?
I think that a Dark and Stormy or a Safe Harbor is going to be more of a, I don't know, I think I look at it as more of a corporate type of function almost. You know, like if you were having a meeting at home with corporate partners or what have you.
Is that how you feel about a Moscow Mule?
Not really. Moscow Mule is a lot more casual, in my opinion, than, I mean, it's still kind of got that corporate feel, but it's more laxed.
Do you think maybe it's because it's fun, it's in a copper cup versus a highball glass? Do you think maybe the presentation has something to do with that?
It might be. This might have a little bit of a higher class value just by the type of glass that's used.
The color, maybe?
Maybe.
It's got that corporate brown color.